Thank you for joining us today on Equal Hope, the CAN TV segment. I'm so happy you could join us and find some time in your schedule for tonight's show. Get a pen and paper. We might be saying something that you need to write down, and information is key. I'm Dana Devine, your host, and also the Community Engagement Specialist for Equal Hope. Equal Hope is a nonprofit organization with a mission to eliminate health disparities in Chicago. How do we do this? By providing free mammograms, cervical screenings, and primary care appointments for you. If you're underinsured, uninsured, or maybe just unsure, give Equal Hope a call. They can support you, help you, navigate you through Alpha to Omega, the beginning to the end, from the first initial appointment. And if you need to go all the way, they will walk you through surgery and everything. They're wonderful, and they're right here in Chicago. You can give them a call, 312-942-3368, or visit them at equalhope.org and learn more about what this organization can do to help you. If you're a cancer patient, a caregiver, or a provider, we have cancer support resources at equalhope.org. And stop by, find out, and pass the information on. Remember, early detection saves lives. Don't deny, verify. Well, today I'd like to introduce this month's guest. Her name is Butterfly Blended to me, but she's Brenda Higgins. She's a retired executive administrative assistant and a breast cancer survivor. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Brenda. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Dana.
Because I honestly feel like your testimony may be the most important thing out of your mouth. And no test, no testimony. So Talk to us, Brenda. Tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Brenda Higgins, and I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago, product of public school, and I graduated from Chicago State University. So I am totally a Chicago girl through and through.
Okay.
Yeah, so I as you said, I'm newly retired. I retired last year from the banking industry, worked there for 23 years. So now I'm just enjoying retirement, doing a little bit of traveling, and taking care of family. I have three sisters and one brother, and I have one daughter, and she's married, and two wonderful grandsons whom I adore.
And she's got to say all this because you know what? Familia is most important. At the end of the day, if you live, you're living for your family. I like it. So thank you, Brenda, for sharing. So let's talk about your breast cancer journey.
Okay.
When were you diagnosed?
Well, I'm a 2-time breast cancer survivor. So I was actually diagnosed the first time in 2004, and then the second time was 2018, so 14 years later. I was diagnosed the first time on the left side, and then the second time was on the right side. So, I'm celebrating that survivorship.
Okay, now, you look so wonderful, Brenda, but do you mind sharing what age you were during this time?
No problem. So the first...
Don't ask me, though. Don't ask me, but go ahead.
All right, yeah, I'm okay with it. So the first time I was 43. So my mammogram, I was scheduled to have my mammogram at age 40, missed it. Then back then, in 2004, it took a long time to get an appointment, so I missed it the second year. Well, by the time I turned 43, I was determined I have to get this mammogram, and I did. And I was diagnosed from the first mammogram they told me I had calcifications.
Okay, so a little station identification moment, early detection saves lives. That's why you're supposed to go annually for your appointments.
So very important.
So you honestly are saying you missed 3 years.
I missed 3 years, and thank God I got it together. And as I said, back then...
Why were you missing the appointments?
Well, okay, so back then it took quite a while to get an appointment.
Okay.
It's not like, thank God, it's not like that anymore.
Oh, right.
You can get appointments. Appointments are readily available. Mammogram appointments are readily available.
Right.
But back then, it was difficult. If you missed an appointment, then you couldn't get another appointment for like another 6-7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then you missed that one, and it would take, so on and so on. Well, thank God I was able to get in and get that mammogram, and that's when they saw calcifications.
Okay, so what stage were you diagnosed?
So, luckily, thanks be to God, I was diagnosed very early. It was stage 0. So that was wonderful. I was told I needed to have a lumpectomy, which is basically, for anybody that doesn't know, that's when the surgeon goes in and removes the tissue, all the tissue, the cancerous tissue and the tissue around it, and make sure that everything is clear to get that cancer out of your body.
So, to sum it all up, wrap it up, your cancer initially was detected from a mammogram.
Absolutely.
Not from a self-breast exam.
Never would have been able to tell from a self-breast exam because the cancer, as I said, it was calcifications, which is not a lump. It's just like, it looks like little masses, but it's flat. So you would not be able to detect this from a self-exam.
And you didn't have any symptoms?
None whatsoever.
Tired?
None. Nope, not at all. No symptoms at all. As a matter of fact, I was, really in shock when they came back and said that, it was cancer.
Right. So that takes me to another question. So you mentioned that you have a sister.
I have 3 sisters.
3 sisters. Have any of them been touched?
None
in
of
any
them.
way?
None of them. And as a matter of fact, I'm the first person that I know of with breast cancer in my family lineage.
Did you take the BRCA test?
I have since taken the BRCA test. I actually took the BRCA test after my second diagnosis in 2018, and it showed like negative, that I don't have the BRCA gene.
You want to tell them what the BRCA gene?
Yes, the BRCA gene shows if there is actual cancer in your lineage, and it helps people to be more aware and to make sure that they can take those tests early. As a matter of fact, once most people don't know this, but once you had breast cancer, anyone in your family line, any women and men in your family line, they can get mammograms up to 10 years earlier than they normally would, just because there's somebody in your line that has had breast cancer. Or if you test positive for the BRCA gene, you also are eligible to take those mammograms early on. And, as we said, the earlier the better. It saves lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. None in your family. So you're leaning more on the environmental side of trying to understand your cancer?
Right, exactly. I have nothing in my past that I can go by to understand it. So at this point, I just have to move forward.
Very good. So your initial reaction, you got that news.
Oh.
You were 43 years old. They called you up. You went in. Here I am. I'm sorry. I'm 3 years late.
Ooh.
But here I come. I'm going to take the test today. And then they said...
I know, they were like,
me, ma'am.
oh no. Okay, well, they didn't actually say it like that, but they may as well have.
They may as well.
It was a shocker. And I was like, no, I don't have cancer. And then, of course, my initial reaction, as most people would be, oh no, your initial reaction a lot of time is, oh, am I going to die?
Right.
This is the big C word.
Right.
Is this going to change my life, or do I even have a life? Well, I soon found out that, I do have a life. And there is life after cancer, and life abundantly.
Okay. So, you have, and I agree. I said so. I have so many questions. I absolutely agree. Mm-hmm. So the first diagnosis in 2004, what was your treatment schedule?
So I initially the surgeon brought me in, removed the cancer, and then
Left or right?
It was the left.
The left.
And they removed the cancer and made sure that it was all clear. And because it was the cancers had not come out of the ducts, I did not have to have lymph nodes removed. And also, the other good thing was I did not have to have chemo because they knew for sure that the cancer had not moved out of the ducts of my breast.
In situ.
Right, it was in situ. And so therefore I had to have 35 rounds of radiation.
So no chemo?
No chemo, no initial chemo, 35 rounds of radiation, but then I was put on tamoxifen for 5 years afterwards, which is what people call chemo in the pill, but it's just a very, very, very small amount of chemo that you take in a pill. And I was put on that for 5 years.
Okay, so that took you to 2009.
Correct.
Your next time, 2016?
2018.
2018. So that was 9 years after the tamoxifen. And so how did you discover this cancer this time?
The same way, Dana, the same way. So, of course, as a breast cancer survivor, I'm making sure that I take my mammogram every single year. And I just have to tell the viewers one thing. Once you've had breast cancer or any cancer for that matter, it's always in the back of your mind, oh, what if this comes back? And it makes mammograms a little scarier, but it makes them even more important. So I was definitely on my schedule. No 2-3 year delay this time. I was definitely on my schedule.
Which is annually?
Every year, annually, taking that mammogram. And so in 2018, pretty much the same thing happened. They called me back in and said, we see calcifications on your pictures.
Same side?
No, this time it was on the right side.
So stage 0 again?
Stage 0, thanks be to God, stage 0 again. But now, because of technology and the advancements in breast cancer and how they treat it, this time, after I had the lumpectomy, I only had to have radiation for 20 rounds as opposed to the
35.
initial. Yeah, which was great, and no chemo. And this time, I did not even have to be put on tamoxifen.
Okay, hallelujah.
Yes.
That's just good news all the way around.
Yes,
congratulations.
Absolutely.
Okay, and look at her. She looks like the Board of Health, right? I mean, you never know what people are going through, so be very careful judging. Very careful.
Absolutely.
So before being diagnosed, what did you know anything about breast cancer?
I knew nothing about breast cancer, Dana.
Nothing in your family?
No, as I said, no one in my family had ever had it. I mean, I only knew what I would hear, on television or, by chance, but it's amazing. Once you are diagnosed with breast cancer, you then find out so many people, are inflicted with this, and then you start doing your own research. Because I'm a big advocate of doing your own research, and you have to be an advocate for yourself. So it's important. Your health is your health. It's your life. So you have to be very, very determined to make sure that you are staying the healthiest as possible. That's why those mammograms are so very important. It's so important for early detection. As I said, I was blessed and diligent in taking my mammograms. So I, was able to, the healthcare providers were able to detect the cancer early on for me, which, really helped with my journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Changes the whole prognosis. It changes, a couple months undetected can put you from stage 1 to stage 2.
Exactly.
And that changes protocol, that changes a lot of different things. So early detection is so very important. Okay, so after your diagnosis, your relationships with other people, when you were married at the time, right?
Yes, I was married. I'm no longer married now, but I was married at the time of my first diagnosis. I was married at that time.
Okay, so did that affect your relationship in any way?
Not a lot, not a whole lot. I had a very extremely good support system. My husband at the time was supportive, and along with the rest of my family and his family. So I had a great support system, and I was able to connect with other people who were in a similar situation, and that was also very, very helpful.
So did you find yourself having to have a mindset reset?
About life.
About what?
About health. About life, about health, about the importance of making sure that you are doing all the things that you should be doing for your health. I actually had a mind reset about diet, even diet. Eating better, trying to find out what's the best things to put in my body, especially because, as I said, my family didn't have a history. So, could this have possibly been, something, like you said, environmental, something that I had been eating over the years? So it was just very important to like I said, to just advocate for yourself and find out and work towards eating and doing the best things for your life. Exercise, which is
Have you
extremely.
changed? You work out more?
Oh yeah. I bike ride. I roller skate every Friday. I go bike riding. I exercise. Like I say, I try really hard to be really, really, really extremely focused on my health and my body.
Okay, so anybody listening to this story right now, cancer doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world, but I know there were some challenges along the way.
Always.
What was your biggest challenge during cancer treatment and into survivorship?
Oh, okay. So I would say my biggest issue was finding a way to continue to work, because at the time, the first time I was only 43, still working. Even the second time in 2018, I was still working. Being able to make all my doctor's appointments and being able to do that radiation. When you have radiation, that's 5 days a week. 5 days a week for 5 or 6 straight weeks, or even for the 4 straight weeks. I had to make it to radiation and then continue to work. I had to work after radiation. Now, radiation sometimes will make you a little tired. So it was, I was lucky enough to be able to get a schedule where I would work first and then go to my radiation treatments. So then after that, I can go home and rest and start all over the next day. So it was challenging, but it's doable. That's the thing. It's doable, and it's important it's important to get that cancer out of your body so that you can continue to live.
And I ask that because you have to ask yourself. I ask myself, why do women not attend those appointments, or why do we quit once we start the treatments? And some of these barriers to treatment are right here. I mean, you have to work. You can't get off. You have to work. You have to work because you have children and bills. And your boss, that's the reality for women. You have to go every day to that appointment. You need to have transportation to get you wherever that appointment's going to be every day at a certain time. And so these are some of the barriers that, stop women from getting the treatment that they need. And we are always trying to find ways of equal hope to overcome these barriers, because early detection saves lives.
Right, and that's what Equal Hope wants to do. It's all about saving lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, can you give us some examples about misconceptions about breast cancer treatment, diagnosis, or survivorship that people did, like for one thing I hear is mammograms hurt. They're not a walk in the park, but they don't hurt. They don't hurt.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It's a little bit uncomfortable.
Right.
That's what I would say. It's definitely not painful. And is it worth your life? We all know that it's definitely not worth your life. So
for 10 seconds of a little discomfort, just because a little pressure.
Right.
A little pressure. Anything else that you hear about that you're like, this is just not true?
That your life will be completely changed and different and unmanageable after cancer. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. As I said, you can go on and have a wonderful life. Just get the treatment. Get the mammogram first. If you happen to be diagnosed with cancer, get the treatment because it is worth your life.
Yeah, and if you go early, then the treatment isn't even as, I won't say bad, but it's not like it is in stage 4.
Right,
Stage
exactly.
0 and stage 4 is a different treatment schedule.
And I'm a testament to that. I am a testament to that twice.
You heard it here. Now, I see you wrote a book with you, Brenda.
Yes, I did. I am a part of the Tasha C. Joyner Foundation. I'm actually an ambassador for the Tasha C. Joyner Foundation. And we, some of the butterflies, that's what we're called at the Tasha C. Joyner Foundation, 12 of us wrote a book. We collaborated and wrote a book. It's 12 stories, 12 of the butterflies. And the book is called The Ultimate Testimony, The Breast Is Yet to Come.
I love it.
And it's a great book about stories. I'm one of the authors, chapter 7.
Lucky number 7. Good number. It's
Right,
good number.
right. Oh, yes. And I'm one of the authors in it. And the proceeds for this book goes to help more butterfly survivors, people who are going through their journeys, women and men who are in their journeys, who need transportation or counseling, things of that nature, things that they can't necessarily get through insurance. It would be wonderful if everyone could
support
this book.
And it's called The Ultimate Journey, The Breast Is Yet to Come. Now, are there any men authors in this book?
Well, no, there are not any men authors in this book, but this is only the first book.
Right.
We will definitely have another book. And if we can get the men to open up a little bit, right. Not that we don't have men who are breast cancer survivors, but if we can just get them to open up a little bit about it, then their stories will be in this book, and then that'll encourage other men.
Absolutely, because you all do know that Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's dad, is a breast cancer survivor. Richard Roundtree, I know a couple personally, so men definitely get breast cancer.
Yes.
And need to be checking up, just like women, though that's a hard message to pass along, that they also should be doing mammogram, breast exams.
Self-exams. Have the women in your life do a breast exam on you.
Show you how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Early detection saves lives.
Saves lives.
And so how do you support? Because I see that you are, as a butterfly, you've thrived because you've had some great support.
I have.
And how can someone support a loved one who is diagnosed or recently diagnosed or going through breast cancer?
Okay, so that's a good question, Dana. I'm glad you asked because many people come to me and they'll say, well, I have a friend or I have a cousin or I have a sister that has breast cancer. I would like to, support them. Well, you have to meet them where they are. Mm-hmm. People will want support when they want support. So you have to meet a person where they are. If I'm more than willing to help out, So you can contact the Tasha C. Joyner Foundation at tashacjoyner.org. And
ask for Butterfly Brenda.
yeah.
Say she said she gonna help me.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. That's what we're here to do. We're here to support and help and save lives.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing your testimony. This time goes by so fast. Thank you for, again, just encouraging somebody. Butterfly Brenda. Equal Hope, if you need to, if you heard this and you know she's talking to you, give them a call, 312-942-3368, or visit equalhope.org. We'll be back next month, the fourth Tuesday of the month. That's June 25th, and we'll be talking more about breast cancer survivorship. I want to thank you, and you for stopping by, and you for watching. You can follow us on social media at equalhope_IL. That we're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere on social media platforms, so make sure you like us. Thank you for watching, and good night.